of the Victorian Era Day. Today we're here to show how talented the students are, and also we're here to show how we can study something and then actually do it on ground. What you can see here, these are students who have studied the Victorian literature, and then after studying it, they decided to make a fair. And in this fair, we have 10 corners. Each corner talk about an aspect of the Victorian literature. There's actually Bronte corner, children literature, Charles Dickens, we have tea corner, we have fashion corner, we have more than one corner, and each corner, as I said, each corner actually talks about an aspect of this era. An aspect of this era. Talking about how we came up with the idea. Well, the idea of this era, this fair, it's all the students here studied in the faculty something called, or a course called, Victorian literature. And from this course we actually decided to make, why don't we make a fair, why don't we make something to actually to make what we have studied live. So we decided to make this era. We want to thank the head of the faculty, Dr. Mahmoud Baroud, and also the head of our uni for giving us this chance to show our talents and to show who we really are.
This is Ansam Tantish, Level 4, English Department. Welcome to our tea corner. Before I start telling you about what's going on here, let me tell you the history of tea parties and the people who introduced this kind of parties. So let's go back in time and tell you the story. So the East British Company imported tea to Britain as the coffee exported Mediterranean countries excluded Britain from exporting and importing coffee. So Britain became the most drinking tea nation all around the world. So here's the tea party. It's all started by a girl called Anna Lucey. Once upon a time, she feels hungry at the late afternoon. So she thinks about drink a pot of tea and some food called finger sandwiches to satisfy her hunger. So since that, it became a trend. And take in consideration that British people drink 165 million cups of tea every single day. They import and export tea all around the world. So let me tell you another thing, which is the tea that we are drinking today is not the same tea they used to drink it at the 16th centuries and the 17th centuries. Actually, because of the taxation goes up, the prices, the products and the prices get expensive. So the tea leaves was one of them. So how to drink tea? They love tea. They want to drink tea. So they decide to smuggle and fake tea and came up with the tea that we are drinking today.
Welcome to our corner, the Victorian poets. Here, this corner is about the poets in the Victorian era. As you can see here, we have more than one poet. This is Robert Browning and Charlotte, Emily and Anne, Lord Tennyson, and here we have poems to those poets. We have here this poem. We had the title of this poem, so we can let the reader or the listener to guess what it could be, what it could mean, and what's its meaning. As you can see, he clasped the crag with the crooked hands. Most of the visitors, after reading it, they telling us that it could be about government, or the poet refers to the government or the Victorian king or queen. But I disagree with them because it's written by Lord Tennyson. This one, Lord Tennyson was the laureate. It's the laureate for the Queen Victoria. So I can't say that he means or he's criticizing the Victorian Queen. So it could also mean or stands for the industrial or the romanticism. You know, we have the Victorian era and we have the romanticism. They are both different eras, and so you can say that the Victorian poets criticizing the romanticism, how they go far away to nature and escape a city. So, and they fall. You know, the romanticism, they fall after at the end of it, and like as the last line of this poem said, and like a thunderbolt he falls. But let me tell you, the title of this poem is The Eagle. So it really was a shock to all the readers that the poet means the eagle. What? And it's really shocked. Here we have another thing. This is Victorian poets. We have more than one poet here. This is George Eliot. As you can see, she's a woman, but she had the name of a man. And this is because of the Victorian era. The women were not allowed to publish their works, their novels, their poems. So she used a man's name to hide her identity so she can publish her novels and poems. Her original name is Mary Evans. Here we have Robert Browning, and I love this quote about Robert Browning: ignorance is not innocence, but sin. I don't know, most of them agree with them, but actually myself, I disagree with him. I don't think, we have to know everything. I think we can just get enough with little things. I don't know, this is my opinion, and you are free. Here we have Elizabeth Browning. By the way, this is her husband. They are wife and husband. Okay. Here we have Matthew Arnold, and this is a quote from their works. We have Edward Fitzgerald. Edward Fitzgerald, for your information, he translated the رباعيات of Omar al-Khayyam to English. So you can read both the translation and compare between them. Last one we have Alfred Tennyson. I talked about him. He was the laureate. And that's it.
Hello, welcome to our corner, the Victorian writing corner. It talks about the Victorian writing, and it starts and theme. It talks about the stars who deals with the novel, the long novel, and starts every single information about the character, especially the main character. And we have the theme, the social theme, which deals with the family, the women, the feminism, and we have the economical theme, which deals with the industrial revolution and industrialization, and how the industrial revolution affects on the society and on the poor people, and the rich become richer and the poor become poorer. And we have a special game in our corner. You will have a very fun in our corner.
Hello everybody, my name is Shada Kurraz. I am a second-year student at the Islamic University of Gaza. Today here we have the book swap corner. Basically, the idea behind it is you bring your books from home and then you swap them with the books that we already have. Over here we have some books from the Victorian era. We have some Charles Dickens, Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities. Over here we have book flicks. We took the idea from Netflix itself. Over here in our corner we have a little game called Book Bingo, where you have to get either 5 in a row or 5 across. Over here we have a book where you can leave us some special notes. We also have some quotes, and if you were a reader, we have some bookmarks, and we have some stickers over here.
the English department at the Islamic University of Gaza is organizing the Victorian Era Day in collaboration with CASP Project and the Malaysian Center. Our corner is basically about the iconic writer Charles Dickens. He is known for many novels, many famous and well-known novels such as Oliver Twist, Bleak House, and many other novels. In this corner, we are trying to relate Charles Dickens' writings to our society, to our conditions as Palestinian, as being under occupation and under Israeli suffering all the time. So in this fair, in the Victorian Era Day Fair, we celebrate the Victorian age of England, and we do relate that age to our situation, to our society as Palestinians under occupation.
I am Dhal Habbash, an English literature student at IUG. I'm a sophomore student. So here we have a corner that's called Victorian Paintings and Art Corner. Here we make this corner as apart from a museum. As you see, there are many paintings here from different movements from the Victorian era. Also, we have the floral patterns. Here we have these floral patterns, or these flowers are famous were famous in the Victorian paintings. They used it a lot. Also, we have these plates from the Palestinian traditional culture. Also, we have this arrangement of the flowers. These arrangements were famous in the Victorian era. They arranged these flowers in this type. Also, we have these movements. These paintings are parts from movements that were famous in the Victorian era, like the pre-Raphaelite and the aesthetic, also the Romanticism movement. Also, we talk about the Victorian, the Queen Victoria, who was a good part or a good role in making progress in the Victorian art and paintings.
My name is Bara Taya. I'm a junior student in the Islamic University of Gaza. Today I wanted to tell you about our corner. It's about Darwin's theory of evolution. This theory affected the people in the Victorian era, because at that time in the Victorian era people believed in God and the church. So the church took the money and the things that the people had and told them that if you want to go to heaven, you had to go to the priest to confess your sins and buy an indulgence to the heaven. So when Darwin's theory emerged, those people who believed in God and the church started to be affected by this theory, and their mentalities and their thoughts started to change, and they became skeptic about religion. So many of them stopped believing in religion, and they preferred to believe in Darwin's theory because it gave them the value and encouraged them to rebel against the hypocrite and corrupted religious men in the Victorian era. So this theory affected also, this theory helped people to live their life, because if you suffer in your life, you just die in suffering, and when you die, you just stop to exist. However, according to the church, if you were born poor and suffered in your life and did good things in your life, and by following the church rules and the queen, you will go to heaven. So, being exploited by the church and by the royal family, many people became willing to abandon religion for the sake of evolution theory, and they became skeptic about religion. So this is the idea of our corner, and here we have the church, and we have here some of the religious men, and here At the beginning, they believe in the church, but after that, they did not believe in the church, and they start to believe in Darwin's theory. Here we have like the chance, and after that, Darwin's believed that at the beginning we have a chance in the sea, and this chance became a fish, and then it left the sea and turned to a monkey, and this monkey after that became like a human being. So also we have here a play. It's the picture of Darwin, and some of the girls play it and enjoy it. And also we have another the puzzle to, yes, excuse me. Here the girl rearrange and follow the lines to reach the end of the play.